Hello guys, this is Wonderbit Trading, and today we're going to carry on with our weekly Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. But obviously this episode is recorded in my flat because all our office is currently working remotely. So let's go straight into the charts. As usual, in front of you can see four different charts. They're all related to Bitcoin. The one on the top left is the BTC futures. One on the top right is the BTC dominance. The bottom two graphs are from different exchanges, but they all showing the charts of BTC to dollar or USDT. So let's go into our weekly time frame first to see what actually happened during the previous week. Well, we can see that if I switch the drawings off, we can see that the previous week was a nice example of accumulation. Looking at the candle, we didn't change much in terms of the price. The price went above a certain level, but then the price started in the price finished in exactly the same region as it's actually started. So this week we can see that we started with a nice increase from 5,800 straight into the 6,300, where the Bitcoin price is trading right now at the moment of the recordings. But the most interesting stuff is going to happen when we're going to go into the future charts. So let's do it straight away. Go into the daily and switching on the all our drawings and indications from the previous review. So what we can clearly see here is obviously the gap that emerged from the close on the 27th of March and the opening of the 31st of March, which is this Monday. This gap has a very nice chance of being fulfilled, to be honest, because we are in this accumulation zone. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see that if we can break above the 50 MA, we can hold above it. There is a nice opportunity for this gap to be filled straight away, and this is a nice 5% profit quite easily there. However, the long-term analysis as we represented, we were expecting the price of the futures for BTC to go further down. We still have to see this divergence over here, which hadn't occurred yet. The price went above the 50 RSI. So what we're expecting for maybe the next 2 weeks is that the prices wiggle in this accumulation area, and then we need to see some kind of divergence on the RSI before we can understand if the price is reversing and trying to break above this accumulation zone. But so far, you can see that the volumes were extremely low on the 25th and 26th of March, very, very low volumes. It obviously correlates quite a lot with what's happening on the traditional stock markets, and especially in America. We're not going to go into huge details about that, but you can see the turmoil which is occurring right now on all sorts of markets. It obviously has a great correlation and effect on the BTC, especially in terms of the volume. The dominance obviously was going crazy again on the 13th, 14th of March, the 16th of March as well. So during the previous weeks, we saw the very interesting behavior of the BTC dominance, which means that several assets were flying extremely high in relation to the Bitcoin. That's why the BTC dominance was going down. At the same time, we can see that some of the altcoins were actually dropping much harder in relation to Bitcoin. That's when we can see that Bitcoin dominance is going up. However, this channel that we drew between the 62% and 69%, we're still holding it. We can say that we're in a bit of an upward move based on the 4-hour charts. We're above the 200 MA. The main message of this graph is always to see whether Bitcoin is strictly dominating the altcoins and whether it is better to keep your overall investment portfolio in BTC or anything else like Ethereum, for example, or distributed across the altcoins portfolio. In this case, the BTC is much better in terms of keeping your funds in the BTC as the main cryptocurrency, because you can see that the dominance is increasing, which means that during the increase of the cryptocurrency markets, we can see that Bitcoin is rising faster in comparison to the altcoins. Let's go to the most interesting chart, which would be Bitstamp. And let's go to the daily time frame, because this is the very nice outlook of what we can see over here. So let's stop on this one for a moment, and let's just pause here and reflect of what was actually happening starting from the 25th of June. So this was the peak in the year 2019. And after that, we actually repeated, we can say it like that, the bearish market of 2018. So we saw the accumulation in the triangle, we saw the break away from the triangle, we saw the huge increase again, then the bearish movement, and now another phase of accumulation, which happened in the November and December. Again, a huge peak in January, and a massive drop, obviously, in March. So, you can see that even just by spelling it out, it seems like we are having a certain pattern of obviously the growth, then the consolidation in a bearish mode, then we usually see the accumulation in terms of the funds, and then a spike in the price. The bearish, the accumulation, the spike in the price. The bearish accumulation, the bearish zone, the accumulation, which is occurring right now, and then we're expecting the spike. Obviously, the huge question is when the spike will occur, and all the time when we're looking in the accumulation zones, you can see a very nice pattern which is emerging, is the divergence of RSI. The RSI was getting larger and larger, it was increasing while the price was staying the same, and if we will see something like this forming over here, in this zone in particular, this will signify that this is first accumulation zone, secondly that the closer and the closer the RSI index will be towards the 50 MA, and the more upper and the more higher lows you will see on the RSI indicator, the closer we get in to the spike of the BTC price. So currently the price will be trading between the 6,800 and 5,700. I believe this will be the channel in which the price will actually hold for some time. Then just before the break, it would be nice to see the drop of the price, the sharp drop of the price, maybe just the shadow of the candle below this level, to take out all the stops for the long-term positions, and then without them go up. This will be the very best scenario for the large traders who are currently accumulating their portfolio. In the short term, what we can see on the Binance exchange is actually the flat scenario. So we wouldn't encourage you to trade actually during that phase of the market. First of all, the uncertainty is quite high in relation to the overall traditional markets. Secondly, the volume is extremely low. We can see that we're currently stuck in this horizontal channel, and with such a low volume and a horizontal channel and the uncertainty, the market will try to trick you. There will be massive explosions of the price, there will be massive drops of the price, which can easily be retraced back to the price where this drop or pump started. So in terms of the BTC price in particular, we are currently just monitoring the market. We're trying to stay out of the market in this particular time. There are no evidence that the market is trying to build up the strength for the next move, either up or down. We just see that in this phase there is a certain accumulation which is happening, and you can definitely see based on the horizontal volumes and the obvious spikes in those horizontal volumes. So let's look now at the Ethereum price and what's happening with the Ethereum. Again, over here we can see the consolidation. We can even put it in a triangle, something like that. Overall, I think the scenario is very similar to the Bitcoin price. We can see that the price is accumulating. We can see the huge horizontal volumes which are building up in levels of between $122 and $140 for Ethereum. We can also see that in order to predict the huge move either up or down, we need to see the divergence on the RSI. However, currently it's not happening. We're still in trend for our analysis of the huge drop before the price starts to move up, and this is exactly what we're expecting. Even though we're trading in the upper part of that channel that we originally predicted, this will be a very nice move that the price can drop even the next 20%, touch this area, and then start the pump immediately after that. The worst case scenario is that we are gonna see the future fall in the price, a very steady fall with a fall in volume, going towards the area of $112, and then after that we might see another huge drop, because if we go into the daily time frame, this drop below the body of the candle, below the 107, will give us the divergence on the daily RSI, and this is something to look forward to if we're expecting the price to have at least a short retracement towards the 50 MA on a daily chart. Okay guys, that was it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay tuned with our weekly updates on the BTC price and Ethereum price, and best of luck with your trading.